So luckily found a way to come down to this pond. So let's see, we'll wait another 10-15 minutes for the moose and let's see what if we are able to find any. So now we are entering the Bap restaurant. Hello friends and good morning. So today we are on I-90 and this is not for a short trip. So today we are driving about 792 miles because we are driving from Seattle to Grand Teton. Our destination today won't be Grand Teton, so we'll be reaching Idaho Falls first. In kilometers, it should be around 1,270 kilometers. So friends, this trip is for 6 days, out of which day 1 and day 6 will be about traveling because like I mentioned, distance is close to 800 miles, so it will take a lot of time. So we'll be there for 4 days. First 2 days we are planning to roam around Grand Teton National Park, and the next 2 days we are planning to see Yellowstone National Park. And in case you're wondering why we are heading to Idaho Falls, the reason is there are no places to stay in Grand Tetons. The closest one is Jackson, and there are very few hotels there. So the best and the most reasonable places to stay that you can find close to Grand Teton are in Idaho Falls. So and also the other reason is that we planned this trip only about a week to 10 days ago. So we found a stay in Idaho Falls for today and a different stay for tomorrow again in Idaho Falls. So yeah, so I mean because it's a long weekend in the US, so many people are traveling to Yellowstone. It's one of the go-to places around this season. So enjoy the trip with us, and we'll try to show you as many beautiful sights as possible. And regarding sites, just to tell you, there are two routes that you can take from Seattle to Idaho Falls. One is the northern route, which goes via I-90, and the southern route, which goes via Boise. So, I mean, you are on I-90 for a while, then you move towards a place called Yakima and Boise, and that's how you reach Idaho Falls. Instead, we took the first one, that's through Montana. Montana is another very beautiful state, and that's the home to Glacier National Park. It's another very beautiful national park. So many people, when they plan for Yellowstone National Park, they also plan for Glacier National Park. However, we won't be doing it on this trip. Maybe some other time. This time, we only want to focus on Grand Teton and Yellowstone National Park, given the fact that we have only 4 days uh, outside traveling days. So hopefully you guys will enjoy. So it's been an hour since we started from home in Seattle, and we started at 4 a.m. by the way. So this was all to beat the traffic, and also just the fact that we have to drive quite a lot. So it's better to drive when it's a lot cooler, because in the afternoon once it gets like closer to 90 or 100 degree Fahrenheit, which is like about 30 degrees Celsius, it gets a little difficult. So that's why we always prefer to start as early as possible. So hence we started at 4 and it's about 5:15 now. So we'll see, and we are thinking of having a breakfast in Spokane. Our next break will be close to Missoula. I hope so, because my car can be driven for about 450 miles on one full tank of gas. So I think that will be the right spot because Missoula is close to 450 miles only from our place. So we are hoping that our car will last long that much, and that's where we'll take our next break. And after that, the idea is to stop straight at our hotel in Idaho Falls. So let's hope we stick to our plan. So, friends, we just took our first pit stop. So, this was at this California kitchen. So, it's there in Bellevue too, about less than a mile from our home. So, I just had my breakfast and came outside for to make this small video. So, we are almost 280 miles, still about 500 miles to go. So we'll start in about 5-7 minutes, and we'll head towards First, we'll head towards Missoula. We will stop to get a car refilled and then we'll head towards Idaho Falls. So we'll soon take I-90 East, and that's Califest for you, Califast for you. So finally, the sun is away for some time, and I like this kind of weather more for driving because there's no sun, there's less heat, and it gets very comfortable for driving. So, however, after having the heavy breakfast, now I want to have some coffee. But since now we are in Idaho, by the way, so the map of Idaho is such that like you will be in Idaho for a while, then we'll again enter into Montana, and then again we'll enter into Idaho. So yeah. So I'll look around for McDonald's, Starbucks, or maybe Dunkin' Donuts. Let's see which coffee shop is the nearest. I was feeling so heavy after breakfast, and I was feeling dizzy, so I stopped for a coffee. I found this McDonald's. So I'll quickly grab my coffee and we'll head back towards my car. So now I have my coffee and I'm feeling much better driving now. So now I have the energy to drive fast and quickly and reach Idaho Falls as soon as possible. So friends, we are now in Montana and we'll quickly reach Missoula, where we'll get a car refilled and we might take the necessary bio breaks as well. And yeah, I think we are on time and it should be taking us more than like 4 to 5 hours to reach Idaho Falls from here. Luckily, the speed limits here are close to 80 miles per hour, which is pretty good and supportive because for driving these kind of distances, you need to drive at a certain speed. So, luckily, roads are good, speed limits are good. So, yeah, it shouldn't take us long from here. I think it's close to 11 and 11 of Montana because Montana is 1 hour ahead of Washington. So if it's 11 here, it would be like 10 in Washington. And yeah, so we are at really good speed now. I think we should be reaching there by 4 p.m. I hope. We should be in Idaho Falls by 4 p.m. So next 1 hour we should be reaching Idaho Falls and we'll soon be connecting with you from Idaho Falls. So friends, after 11 hours of driving and 792 miles, which is roughly around 1270 kilometers, so we are finally in Idaho Falls. So this is the hotel that we have booked. So this is only for a day. Tomorrow we'll be moving to an Airbnb, and last 3 days we'll be doing glamping. That will be near Yellowstone. So tomorrow our plan is to visit Grand Teton, and then we'll see when we'll start exploring Yellowstone. So the plan is that we'll start from Teton, and then we'll go up north towards Yellowstone. So that's the plan. So 11 hours of driving that included 1 hour of breakfast plus refueling plus nature breaks and everything. So all in all, I drove for 10 hours, 11 hours of total journey. So here we are finally. So now we'll take some rest and we'll see what's there in Idaho Falls to explore. So guys, we are out for dinner, and I'm sure with this bright sunlight, you might be surprised like how come we are having dinner so early. So it's already 8:30 here. So we are here for a Japanese dinner. So that's vegetarian plus egg. That's for me, and that's for my wife with chicken. So we are having ramen. So we are now out for a walk and also to explore Idaho Falls. Though there's not much in the city, it's a small town with few restaurants which gets closed by 9 p.m. max. So we'll take a quick stroll and head back to our hotel. Las Vegas, New Orleans, Santiago, Moscow, दिल्ली भी है. So this is the end of day one, which was all about driving. I'm sure you guys also be wondering, like, this video so far has been all about driving, but I felt that driving was a major part of the trip. So hence I recorded the clips from driving as well. So now we'll head back to our room and we'll get back to bed. We'll take rest and we'll soon be starting with day two. And yeah, so Grand Teton is about 100 miles from here, which shouldn't be taking us more than 2 hours. And yeah, so spots like Jenny Lake or Jackson, so all those places we'll be covering tomorrow. See you guys. Hello and good morning from day two. So today we woke up a little late. I mean late, like we woke up at 7:30, and it's about 8:30 now. We are out for breakfast and we'll soon leave for Jackson, which is our first point in Grand Tetons. So there we'll be doing a hike. I think it's called Phelps Lake. That's what we are planning to do. So before that we'll have a breakfast, like I said, and then we'll start soon. So I'll switch on to my GoPro soon and we'll show you the driving videos of this amazing place. So I'm hoping for some great views and great journey of through Grand Teton. So today we are only doing Grand Teton, and let's see how much we are able to complete. Whatever is left, we'll complete it tomorrow, and then we'll head towards Yellowstone. So now we have started off for Grand Teton National Park, and the first stop that we'll be visiting will be Phelps Lake. So Phelps, I'm sure most of you must be aware of this word because of Michael Phelps. I don't know if this lake is named after him or not, but yeah. So Phelps Lake is one of the recommended spots to visit. So that's what we'll be doing. After that, we'll be visiting Jenny Lake, and we are hoping that we find a moose there. Let's see if you're lucky enough. But it is said that I mean there are high chances at Jenny Lake to find a moose because we never saw one. Like they are known to be found in Alaska. We went to Alaska, we didn't find them. So we are hoping that we find one in either Grand Teton or Yellowstone. So an FYI, we have entered Grand Teton National Park. So now our first stop will be Phelps Lake. So the mountains that you can see in front, those are called Tetons or Grand Teton. And this national park is named after these mountains only, Grand Teton National Park. I probably forgot to mention that Grand Teton National Park as well as Yellowstone National Park, they are part of a state called Wyoming. So that's a different state. Yes, we stayed in Idaho yesterday, and maybe our future stays are also in Idaho as well. We traveled through Montana, but these two national parks that I just mentioned, they are part of Wyoming state, and this state is a lot different than the usual American states because I mean whatever I can make out of this state is it's mostly about these national parks, and there are not many places to stay here. There are very few restaurants around. So we have reached the trailhead of Phelps Lake. So this is not the actual trailhead. The actual trailhead is a mile away from this point. But since the road is not good, so I'll park my car here and we'll hike a mile extra. So I'll turn off my GoPro and we'll switch on my camera soon. See you from the trail. We are now heading to Phelps Lake. So mostly we'll be going to Phelps Lake Lookout. So it's roughly 2 mile hike
up and we'll be coming back on the same route. So in total 4 miles, and we're expecting to be back in 1.5 hours. So that will be the first spot that we are covering up. We'll share the Phelps Lake shots soon. By the way, this place has lots of bears, so we are a little cautious, and unfortunately we don't have bear spray with us, so we are hoping no bear comes to us or we don't go to any bear.
So we have reached the Phelps Lake lookout. You will soon be seeing the Phelps Lake. Here you go. So that's Phelps Lake, my friends.
What you see in my background is the Phelps Lake. So we are at the elevation of 7,200 feet. That's roughly 1440 meters. So it's quite high in elevation. So if you remember my St. Helens hike, so that elevation was 8,300. So this is just 1,100 shorter in elevation. So but still we didn't have to walk that much as I had to do in case of St. Helens. So let's enjoy the views here. We have just encountered a hailstorm on our way back to the trailhead. So as I'm making this video, snow, like not the snow but the hails are hitting my phone, my hand. Now you can notice the hails on my jacket. It's still falling on me.
So we are now back from the Phelps Lake and we saw this nice lookout. So we start for a couple of minutes. So now that my wife is driving, so I decided to use my camera instead of GoPro and show you the Grand Tetons, or Grand Teton basically. So Grand Teton it's called, and it's also called Tetons. So these are Tetons. So we are now pretty close to Jenny Lake. So Jenny Lake is one of the most visited attractions in Grand Teton National Park, and so over there, if you can see, there's a checkpoint. So we already crossed one checkpoint. I don't know if it got captured in my GoPro or in the camera, but this is another checkpoint. So either you have to buy a daily pass, not a daily pass, I think it's a pass for Grand Teton National Park which is valid for a week, or you can buy a pass that is valid all over the US for any national park. So I have that pass because it's valid for a year. So we have just reached Jenny Lake and we encountered a deer here.
Oh, you can just deer here.
It's probably not a deer, it's a stag. Not sure if it's a reindeer or red deer. I'm not sure. I think I might have to Google it. But it's a stag for sure.
See?
Along with the visitor center, there was a store where you can buy drinks, food, maps, or even souvenirs for Grand Teton National Park. So now we are moving to Jenny Lake. So we'll first proceed to Jenny Lake Overlook, and then we might take a boat to go to a trailhead for Inspiration Point. Now we are approaching Jenny Lake. As you can see, That's Jenny Lake for you. So we are right at the banks of Jenny Lake. This is a small model. So this is Phelps Lake that we just visited. That's that canyon. So we were here around like the starting point of that canyon. And this is Jenny Lake. That's where we are. Next we might go to Jackson Lake. These are Grand Teton National Park. So this is Jenny Lake behind me, and we'll soon be taking a boat. From there behind me is the point from where the boat ride starts. And this will take I think about 15 minutes to reach the inspiration point somewhere around over there. So from there we'll hike again to that inspiration point. We'll go there in another 15-20 minutes. So friends, this is the boat that we'll be taking. As you can see, the weather is extremely cloudy and it might rain any time. There's a quite possibility that when we reach there, it would be raining, because that's how the clouds or the mountains look. Let me just show you. Let's see.
So fortunately the weather got cleared, and not after 15-20 minutes, but we waited for an hour because we didn't want to go to that side when it rains. So here we are. Now the views are spectacular. Now I think we'll enjoy the hike as well to Inspiration Point. So friends, somewhere there are the moose ponds, and our plan is that instead of taking round trip on this boat, we'll be taking only one-way trip. So we'll go to the Inspiration Point, and while coming back we'll walk around this lake, because on one corner there are the moose ponds, and we'll try our luck if we can find any moose. So those are the lovely, spectacular Grand Teton for you. I think I'll have to switch off my camera and clean the lens. So we are now close to the Inspiration Point's trailhead. So that's the point where we'll be getting off from this boat. So now our hike starts for the Inspiration Point, and it seems to be a very easy hike. It's hardly a mile and a half I think, so it shouldn't be any difficult. So now we are hardly a quarter of a mile away from the Inspiration Point, and it got sunny. So we are hoping to catch some good views of this Jenny Lake. So we have now reached the Inspiration Point, and you can check out the views of Jenny Lake from here. So we'll sit here and take rest. So we'll now head back and we'll hope to find some moose. So we'll go to Moose Ponds first, which should be about I think 2.5 miles from here. So we'll be walking for about 2.5 miles. I forgot the exact distance that the lady mentioned at the trailhead. So we are now at the banks of Jenny Lake, and we'll be walking along the circumference of this lake. So just like we are looking out for moose, we are hoping that bears are not looking out for us. Like I mentioned, we don't have any bear spray, and we never experienced bear in the wild. We only saw them in a zoo, so we don't know what we are going to do if we find any bear charging at us. So fingers crossed.
So this one behind me is moose ponds. So we are waiting if we can spot any moose. So we'll wait for 15-20 minutes and let's see if we are able to capture any. And if we are successful, definitely we'll share the shots. So luckily we found a way to come down to this pond. So let's see, we'll wait another 10-15 minutes for the moose and let's see if we are able to find any.
So it seems that we are not lucky enough to find the moose, but we'll enjoy the view and we'll head back soon. With a little disappointment of not finding any moose, we are almost at the trailhead. So what you can see in the front is a point where we boarded our boat a couple to 3 hours ago. So you can see there are a few more people waiting to board their boat. Now we are at the trailhead and we'll head back to our home. So before that we'll go to Jackson. We'll have dinner because it's about 6:30. So we'll see if we can find something here, maybe a few drinks, and then we can go to Jackson and have our dinner. So we found some good restaurants in Jackson.
So friends, this is Jackson and we have stopped here for Korean dinner. So we found one nice Korean restaurant. That's where we are planning to go. So this is our restaurant. That's where we are going to. BAPP, maybe short form of bibimbap. It's a Korean restaurant. Here we are.
So now we are entering the BAP restaurant. So that's seafood bibimbap for my wife. I think you can see shrimps and mussels there, and there were few more seafood items. Since the egg or veg bibimbap was not available right now, though they have in menu, so I went for udon noodles, which are stir fried with egg.
So now we are done with our dinner. So we had Korean food. Now we are heading towards the car and we'll soon leave the city of Jackson. We'll head towards a place called Shelly. That's in Idaho. So it's still about 100 miles from here. So we'll end this day today. And before closing, I'll share some of these shots from Grand Teton National Park. I hope you will like those.
So friends, as we were heading back, we found these fireworks. So today is 3rd July and tomorrow, because it's 4th of July, which is the Independence Day of United States of America. So that's what these celebrations are for. So yeah, we were lucky enough to encounter at least one set of fireworks while we were driving back. So with these fireworks, let's say goodbye to day 2 and we'll catch you tomorrow on day 3. So we'll be visiting same Grand Teton National Park tomorrow, but there'll be different spots. So see you guys tomorrow. So friends, I really hope you guys enjoyed the part 1 of my Wyoming trip series. So this was about Grand Teton National Park, and the upcoming parts will include Yellowstone as well. So Yellowstone National Park is also called the first national park of US. So we started our journey with the Grand Teton National Park because we wanted to start from the southernmost point in Wyoming, and then we wanted to go north from there. So that's how we planned our trip, and that's how the video series will be aligned as well. So I hope you enjoyed the video and you have liked the video already. Please share your feedback in comments, and do share this video with your friends as well. Thank you.